everybody, Trevor here, back with another Tuesday tip. I got a couple of tips that I wanted to share regarding walls. I got two that you're probably familiar with, and a third you're probably familiar with, but I didn't know for far too long would have made my life much easier and my drawings a lot better. So the first one that I want to share is regarding peninsula walls. I've had a couple of coworkers and a couple of clients over the years ask me how to speed up the process of changing a cabinet that's on a peninsula wall from a finished back to an unfinished back. Well, what you can do is set your defaults. So really, right now you can see here in plan view, when I drop a cabinet on this peninsula wall, there's a finished back and it's living outside the depth dimension of the cabinet. Normally what these clients were doing is coming in here and changing this to unfinished and doing that for all of their cabinets on that wall. Time-consuming process, prone to missing things, and just frustrating. So what you can do though is select the wall, and you can see here it shows your three options. However, if you do that right now, the next time you go to draw a wall and change it to peninsula, it's going to stay as a finished back. So what you need to do is go into walls, and before you draw a wall, select peninsula, come down here to the cabinets, the back type, and select unfinished. Now, every time you draw a wall, which by default will always be a standard wall and not a peninsula, come in here and you change it, and you can see it by default, it's starting with unfinished. Granted, if you want a finished back on all your peninsula cabinets, don't do it that way, but this is just a quick little way to get ahead of the game a little bit to where you don't have to go into each cabinet modifying things every single time. So the next wall tip I have for you is regarding vaulted walls. You can only do this in plan view. Well, on the type here where you would change it to a peninsula, if you change it to vaulted, left or right, you get some different options in the sidebar to give you an angled wall without having to shape it in elevation, which is what I did for a while. So if you click vaulted left, your wall height is your low point, and your vault height is from the low point to the very top. So I don't know about you, but when people do site measures, they don't usually give me a vault height. They just give me that whole number of being, 121 and 7/16. That's not the number you want to put in here, however. But what I would do is type that in and minus the height. I let Cabinet Vision do as much math for me as possible. It just helps eliminate things. You're typing it into a calculator, then you're typing that number in again. Just adds too many different variables and places to get things wrong. So that's what I have learned to do here. And you can do the same thing for Cathedral. Obviously that's going to give you a center point and vaulted left, right. We'll do that. The last tip that I have is really probably embarrassing how long I actually didn't know this. If you come in and put a door on a wall, you can select that door and change the door swing. I used to just go through here and try to find a door that by default had a different swing, which was probably some previous user of the computer saving it back to the library with a different swing. But I think every single door has this option of changing the hinge swing left or right. It's a fantastic ability to have that, like matching people's plans on their architecturals or site conditions much easier. And then you can also change it on which side of the wall. That helps with keeping this 16-inch number. So if you have site measure and someone's giving you that number, but the door swing's going this direction out the back of the wall, you're not having to put it on the other side and then doing a different number, especially when you have a wall return. It's referencing that 4.5-inch number added to that 16. So let me know what you think of that. Are there any other things that you did quote unquote wrong for many years and recently learned? Throw a comment down below and share your knowledge. Otherwise, I will see you guys again next Tuesday.